It is exactly 8 o'clock on the nail, going live, living in Jacksonville channel, the one and only with Miss Rachel. How are you, my dear?
Good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I mean, tomorrow's Friday. What can I say? Has two great families in town. My folks from Connecticut. I got my folks in from Alaska South Carolina via Alaska. Had a couple of closings. Everything's shaking and grooving and moving. And tonight we're keeping it light. What are we talking about, Miss Rachel? I'm excited.
We're talking about going to the beach.
Going to the beach.
Going to the beach. I'm going to cover a lot of ground. I'm going to give you a lot of info. I'm going to try to give you some like inside local info on where to eat, stuff like that. But you know.
All right. So we're going to be talking about, one of the big things that people ask is when they come to Jacksonville to go to a Jags game or they're flying in and visiting, they're like, how close is the beach? How close is it from the airport? Which beach do we go to? Where do we go to a beach where we can eat, maybe have a drink? Where's the beach that has bathrooms, amenities? Where's a beach with good parking? What am I missing? What beach? What are the safeties I should be considering? Because I'm really want people to be cautious. If you're not from here, if it's red flag day, we've had so many people drown from rip currents, which is serious stuff. What else am I missing here? Beach clubs, memberships?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
A lot of people talking about beach club memberships, always asking about that. So you got updates on that. So cool. We got a really cool show tonight. Hey guys, if you're watching, please make sure you tell us where you're watching from. We're super excited to have you. This is an interactive show. So we'll answer any questions we can. I've got a native Jacksonvillian here, local, Miss Rachel from the area, left for a little while and came back. People from Jacksonville. I talked to a gentleman today, moved over to Montana and came back to Jacksonville after 10, 15 years. And I said, why? And he said, Jacksonville will always be home. So I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. So anyway, that's good to hear. I love hearing those stories because I don't know what it is. When people are from here, they come back. So that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's home for me and home for my husband. So we love it here.
Yeah. Well, I hope if it's home for you that you're including your husband in that as well.
But yeah, but he's from here too. He's definitely
Oh, he's a local too. I forgot about that.
He's like a real true blue local.
Yeah, he is. I know. That's awesome. That's why I love you guys so much. All right. So what's the first topic tonight?
Well, like you said, we're going to start with if you're coming from the beach or coming from the airport, trying to go to the beach. So the airport kind of on the north side of town. So I kind of thought Amelia Island would be the place to go. It's saying 38 minutes right now to get to the beach from there. There are closer ones that you could hit up. You could hit up Little Talbot Island State Park. And there's one even closer here called Hugenot.
Mm-hmm.
So, 30-ish minutes from the airport.
Okay. What about Atlantic Beach?
Atlantic Beach. If you want to get to Atlantic Beach from the airport.
Yes.
Here we go. We've got 39 minutes right now. If you're, flying in right now and you want to get to Atlantic Beach, boom, 40 minutes.
All right. So if you're going to be coming from the airport, you're coming into town, most likely touristy, unless you want to do those park beaches you were just talking about. They're more like nature preserve park beaches. Those are the ones you want to look at in the north side. But if you want to go to happening beaches or whatever, probably Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, Jax Beach, right?
I would agree. Yeah. If you're looking for a restaurant, hit up Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach area. And then same thing, if you're coming from Everbank, you can make a straight shot from Everbank right out to Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach. There's an area here called the Beaches Town Center. It's about 30 minutes. I feel like most of the time when people ask me where stuff is in Jacksonville, I'm like, it's going to be about 30 minutes. It'll be about 30, 45 minutes, depending on traffic and where you're going. So.
Well, that's accurate. Everything is spread out here in Jacksonville, and I always say 20, 25 minutes as well. The Everbank you're talking about is the actual Jags Stadium, which will be under renovation, and I believe the Jags will be moving to Orlando this year, which is going to be kind of weird, I think. I think it's happening this year. So,
well, this year will still be at Everbank this upcoming season. We've got tickets, so.
Okay. All
Some of
right.
these.
Okay. So it won't be until the following season that they move to Orlando. All right. So yeah, if you're coming down to the game, most likely you're going to want to go down to Atlantic Beach, straight shot 20. How many minutes is that?
It says
20,
28 minutes right now.
28
So,
minutes. Okay, cool.
depending on traffic, give or take.
All right, Robert Anstron, check it out. Hey, Robert, how are you? The beaches of Long Island. All right, yeah, sure. I don't know. I've never been to the beaches of Long Island. If all my Long Island people, let me know what the beaches are like in Long Island. Long Island. All right, what's next?
Okay, so really quick, what I want to point out here is just, one really cool thing. Like over in Little Talbot, Big Talbot, there's an area over here where you can actually catch a Mayport ferry. So if you are over in this beach, like Hugenot, and you want to get over here to Hannah Park, there is a ferry there. And actually, the ferry starts back up tomorrow.
Oh,
so
okay.
The schedule, it looks like St. John's River Ferry will resume regular operating hours starting June 13th. So yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, so if you're a tourist and you want to do a little bit of touristy stuff, then go ahead and do a ferry ride.
Yeah, the ferry is very cool. You drive on with your car, and so during the week it's $7. On the weekend it's $8. You get on, you ride the ferry over, and it's just kind of a fun little, like, something a little different. And also up that way is a place called Boneyard Beach. We actually did Christmas cards pictures here one year, and I just thought it was such a neat beach and just such a cool place that people just don't really know about in this Jacksonville area, even if you've lived here for a while. So I just wanted to point it out that it's, over on that north side of the Jacksonville area. If you're looking for something a little naturey, a little different than your typical, that's a definite beach to check out.
Yeah, great photo shoots there too, by the way. I mean, just from those pictures alone, you can tell if you want to do some really cool photography, nature photography, that's where it's at, baby.
Oh, yeah. And then also, so up that way again is Hugenot Park. So I'm going to click on the map so you can kind of get a sense of it here. And it is also another place that has a lot of parking, but also it has camping. So if you're into camping on the beach, I would say Hugenot Park or even Hannah Park are going to be your places to check out. So these are the two places there up on the northern end of Jacksonville. You can see Hannah Park in this map. It's right near the Mayport Naval Station. So you've got Hugenot, take the ferry over, you could do Hannah Park. Both of those places have lots of parking. It's $100 for a year pass, but $5 a day for a car full of up to 6 people. So just another little area to check out. It's hours are, let's see, 8 a.m. entry, unless you get an early bird pass. Like I said, camping. And also at Hannah Park, my husband wanted me to mention that there's surfing there. So if you're looking for decent surfing, the poles at Hannah Park.
Yeah, that's where the locals hang. So be careful. You better be a decent surfer. Not only that,
I wouldn't say it's for newbies. You definitely have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's not a newbie place. I would recommend probably Jack's Beach if you're a newbie. Not only that, there's some serious rip currents up there too. So you have to be cautious in those areas. If it's red flag day, even if you're up to your waist, be very, very careful. So I don't want to move into that too quickly, but which one of those parks can you actually camp on the beach, like on the beach?
Well, Hannah Park is pretty close on the beach. Like you can hear the water. Hugenot, you can be pretty close. It's not right on the shoreline, but very close.
Very close. That's kind of cool, actually. If you are
you're looking for that. Oh, and I will say, Mayport Naval Station is right there, so you might actually hear like helicopters and stuff. For me, that's a very soothing sound, like the sound of freedom. But that's just me. So I like those kinds of sounds, but I grew up hearing that kind of stuff, and for me, that would not be a minus. That would be a plus. So just know that if you're just worried about the noise or anything.
Awesome. All right. So for all my campers that want to do some beach camping, that's where it's at. Not a lot of places in Florida you can just go camp on the beach. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so just kind of a, nature kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But here is the beach's town center. So this is Atlantic Beach and Neptune Beach. So this part up on the north part is the Atlantic Beach side, and then south part is the Neptune Beach side. And they pretty much share a big parking area in this beach's town center. You do have to pay for a lot of it. And they use an app called the Flowbird app. And it's $1 per 30 minutes. And it's every day you have to pay to park from 11 a.m. to midnight during like the busy season.
Mm-hmm.
So this part of the year you have to pay to park in those spots. You can try to find like these little beach accesses along the way, and sometimes you'll get lucky with little street parking type things that are free, but it is residential. So anytime you're parking along those streets, you do have to pay attention to, am I blocking somebody's driveway or
Yeah.
So
And that's some serious real estate going on over there. I had a video not too long ago of literally a house just under $3 million. It's walking distance to everything, to the beach, to downtown, great dining and everything. But people are just buying those homes there in that area and tearing them down and building $3-4 million homes now. And it's crazy because they don't even have a lot of parking. It's very abnormal. But I have to say, when you go there, it's not that hard to get a parking spot most of the time if you're not. Yeah, it's very good, actually, if you think about it, considering how close you can get to everything.
Yeah. So the parking, I would agree, is most of the time, unless you're trying to go like 4th of July weekend or another major holiday weekend, Labor Day or Memorial Day, those kinds of things, like that's when it gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
But this whole area here, there's definitely parking. And also, just as info, because I know some people were asking, there is a public restroom on the backside of the police station that's in Neptune Beach, which is right about here.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you're looking for a public bathroom there, you can hit that spot, I can't vouch for its cleanliness. I've never actually used it, but you can check it out, and you got to report back if it's decent.
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, sorry.
Good. Did you? Are you getting there? But are we going to talk about the hotel that just got bought out, the historical hotel?
Maybe. Is it? Which one is it?
Was it the Lemon? What is it called? The
Lemon Bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it. But is that? Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so the Beaches Town Center, one of the things that they also have in this area that I just think is kind of neat is they do have something called the Art Walk. So they have one coming up June 19th. It's on Thursday nights usually. It's, once a month, but kind of a cool event if you're ever looking for something kind of fun to do in that area. They have it's like everybody has their little like table set up with different arts that they sell.
Okay. Cool. So and that's in the downtown area?
Yeah, it's in that Beaches Town Center area.
Sweet. Pretty cool.
And then just talking food, because I always want to talk about food.
Who doesn't?
I know, I love food. Angies is a sub shop that has another location that just opened this location in Atlantic Beach. And I'll show you what it kind of looks like on the inside. It's got kind of a beachy vibe. The original one is on Beach Boulevard. This is the new one. The one thing that's different about this one, though, is it has subs, but it'll also have beer and wine. So it's going to have a different kind of vibe to the other one if you've seen that one. And Angies Sub Shop, they actually have a location that's at the airport as well.
Okay, very cool. So Jack's Beach Sub Shop now in Neptune Atlantic Beach area.
Yeah, okay. And it's a place that's been around for a while, and it's Angies Sub Shop, and cool. it's a great little local happening spot. I definitely would recommend perusing their menu online first before going, because they do have a little bit of a secret menu kind of thing. So wow. If they ask you, like, if you want knick-knack or crunchies, if you check on the website, you'll know what it means. Crunchies is like barbecue Fritos. Knick-knack is coleslaw. So you got to know the lingo.
Wow. So it's kind of eclectic, a little bit of In-N-Out burger stuff going on there.
I mean, it's its own thing, but yeah, it's a cool place.
All right. Cool. Shout out to Angies Subs. Good job.
So another restaurant that I think is a nice place to mention is this place called Mezza Luna. It's a dinner only place. So this is a little nicer if you're looking for like a cute little patio kind of place. It's not right on the water, but it's close to the water. It's a good place for Italian food, and they've got, valet parking. So if you're looking for a place that has like a date night kind of place, this is a good place to check out.
Yeah, they do. That area does have pretty good valet parking for a lot of the restaurants there, where you only just have to show them a receipt from your dinner and then just give them a tip. And it's very convenient, actually. It's very well done.
Yes.
For all my valet people that don't want to park, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You have valet, so it'll be good for you.
All right. So this other place we were just talking about is called the Lemon Bar. It's right on, it's really close to the ocean. Shad Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, did buy it. Right now, it's just kind of a place where you can get sort of, kind of bar food and, just your typical kind of what you would think of, I think, as like a beach bar.
Yeah.
And it's a cool place. And Shad Khan's plans, it sounds like he's going to turn it into, it might include a private beach club, a spa, a fitness center, a restaurant, an improved lemon bar, parking, and retail space. So transforming the area into a boutique resort hotel. So it's cool as it is right now, but it sounds like he's got big plans.
Yeah. There's a lot of controversy on that, of course, because originally when he purchased it, he said he wasn't going to change it. It's a historical kind of landmark, if you will, and it's on the beach. It's like an old Florida hotel, and of course, not too long later after it was purchased, this announcement was made. Some people are super excited about it, and some people are kind of bummed out that it's going to be changed. Is it going to be expensive? Is it going to be harder to access? All those kind of things. But nonetheless, it is kind of cool. It's one of the few beach bars that we have. You can literally walk on the sand right there and have a drink.
Yes. And then just another place in that little shopping area of the beach's town center is Hawkers. And they've got, and I think it's kind of a little bit of a chain, but it's like Asian street food. So just another little place that I think is just a unique little joint that you could check out if you're not feeling like bar food and you want something a little different, then that place is another place to check out. And also another historic place is Pete's Bar in Neptune Beach. It is 91 years old.
Wow.
So that bar has been there for a long time. And it says pool still only 25 cents if you're into shooting some pool.
There you go.
So you can check it out. But I mean, it's definitely, it's a neat place. For a long time, they didn't take credit cards. So that's why on here on their website, they now say they take credit cards, because for a long time they didn't take credit cards.
Yeah. And nobody uses money anymore. So
yeah. So old school Jacksonville kind of place. And then just another place that I think that deserves a little shout out is a bakery. It's called Sonati's Bakery, and it's a family name. It's been there in the Neptune Beach area. It's not right on the beach. It's a little bit of a drive off, but if you're looking for cookies, like I know a lot of people are looking for cookies and kind of that like Italian bakery style place when they move here.
Really good pies too.
Really good pies. But they have all kinds of stuff over at Sonati's, and I think it's been there since 1986. So, but definitely check the hours, because I've gone there before, like right after they closed, and it was a major bummer. So
right.
I thought for sure I was going to get a cookie at like 3:30, and they had already closed. So don't be me.
Yeah, they start early morning baking.
Yes. So good place for donuts.
Cool.
Also in Atlantic Beach, if you're looking for a place to rent surfboards, paddleboards, bikes, chairs, all the things, there's a place called Jack's Surf and Paddle Rental. and it's it has pretty good rates, I think, on stuff. So if you're just wanting to try something out for an hour, the surfboard soft top is really nice because it's kind of got like that boogie board kind of feeling on top.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little easier to start out with, and you could just try that out and rent beach chairs, and you can just go to the beach and just kind of wing it when you get there.
Yes.
So,
you're out of town and you want to do a little water sports. I really like the beach down there a lot. I think it's a beautiful beach. It is so nice.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, and there's a lot that you can access in that area without having to bring a whole lot. So if you're looking for a beach where you don't have to plan the day so much, Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach is a really, really, really good option.
Are you going to talk about the Flying Iguana at all? My favorite taco place?
The Flying Iguana, I wasn't. You didn't tell me that was your favorite.
Oh, well, anybody who's listening out there and any of my locals that watch this on record or anything, you can go ahead and put in the comments, what do you think about the Flying Iguana? Fantastic Mexican food, walks from the beach, very worth the mention for sure. So if you love Mexican margaritas, cool little bar scene, everything, you've got to try out the Flying Iguana on the corner there. That's right from both all those restaurants that you mentioned. It's right around the corner there, so it's perfect.
Yeah, there's so many. So there's a lot of really, really good options.
Cool options for sure.
So that is the Atlantic Beach and Neptune Beach. And if we go further south, we're getting into Jacksonville Beach.
Woohoo! Partyville.
It is a little more, I mean, I kind of think they both have a little bit of that vibe. But yeah, Jacksonville Beach has a little bit more of a party vibe. And
yeah. So I'm an old man, and I'd probably be more Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach kind of deal. It's just that more of my vibe, and I'm a married old man with 2 kids. So, but Jack's Beach is definitely, with the pier and everything, I think is a little bit more of a happening crowd if you like the people watching everything. But anyway, I digress. You go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's a great place to people watch. It has lots of parking. There's a lot of paid parking. Paid parking doesn't start until 8 p.m. on Fridays, though. So if you go like during the week, it's not paid, which is kind of different and kind of nice from Atlantic Beach because you do have to pay every day up there. Mm-hmm. So just something to consider. And it's also another surf spot right here by the pier. My husband's a surfer, and he's the one that told me, he's like, yeah, just make sure you tell people, like, don't get too close to the pier. There's like fish hooks, dangling from the pier.
I mean, if you enjoy fishing and you want to actually rent fishing gear and go out on the pier, I believe the pier is like, I forget how long it is. It's a long pier, and they just renovated it not too long ago. So if you like fishing, there's a lot going on at pier as far as fishing goes. But yeah, if I was surfing, I wouldn't be for the purpose of just sharks in general, to be honest with you, all that bait in the water.
Yeah, I mean, that's another consideration. Yeah, you don't want to surf right next to somebody. Actually, you shouldn't go in the water right next to somebody who's fishing anyway. Just
you don't want to surf have a lot of chum.
Right. I mean, hey, that counts under the safety stuff we were going to talk about, I think. So.
Oh, okay. I'm
just one of those random safety factoids that like people maybe don't know. Don't swim right next to the person with the chum in the water.
Yeah, exactly. We do have sharks, people.
Right. So one of the places I wanted to talk about for food was V Pizza, and it is connected to a bar, Flask and Cannon. So it's the same place. Really, it's the same facility. But V Pizza on one side, Flask and Cannon on the other. There's a lot of locations of V Pizza, and but it's just right, as you can see, it's just right off the beach, so you could just swing through there, get some pizza, and then it's open pretty late on the bar side. So if you want to hit that up, you could. And then also on that map, you can see here this place right here called the Casa Marina Hotel. This is a little nicer, so I would say, maybe not right off the beach to go in here to the restaurant here, but this is one of those hotels and restaurants where you could get like bottomless mimosas on the weekends. They have a Sunday brunch in a penthouse. So it's really nice. Oh, and it is officially 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
Right here, we're turning 100. Come celebrate with us on July 12th. So it's coming up.
Yeah, cool.
So happy birthday to the Casa Marina.
Happy birthday. Yeah, 100 years. That's a lot. That's awesome.
Right. And then there's a new restaurant. I always like to try to point out new places. This place just opened May 21st. So it's called Seismos. It's right on the water in Jax Beach. And here, I'll just pull up the menu. It looks really cute. It already has a few reviews on Yelp, and I thought it was worth mentioning. I mean, I love that they have caviar service for $120, but then they also have like the Bobby T fish sandwich for $12. So I feel like there's something for everybody here.
I would say that is quite a combination there.
I mean, why not? So I just think it's kind of neat, and just to be on the water like that and have, seafood is, I mean, it's like living the dream.
For sure. I like it. Haven't tried it. I've got to venture out a little more.
Yeah, it's brand new. So it's, a place to check out.
You got to support the new business. The one restaurant that we go to a lot actually has been a really big hit is Oku.
Oh, yeah. That place, that's in the Neptune Beach area too, over at that beach's town center.
Okay. It is up there as well?
Yeah, isn't it? The Oku?
I think I've got it right. Oku, is that the one that we go to that's right, the newer one that's right on the beach there? I believe I think that's in Jax Beach. Yeah, that's Jax Beach. It's right across from the beach. Yeah, it's really good sushi, really cool bar scene. If you really
right. It's right next to V Pizza. You're right.
Yeah, we go there all the time. It's pretty awesome sushi, to be honest with you. Very good.
Very nice. Yeah, so right all in that same little area, you've got that Casa Marina that I talked about, that Oku, we've got V Pizza, Sizemores, the new place. So all right here near the pier, and there's parking here. That one's a paid parking lot. But also Jax Beach is a pretty easy place to find like the free parking spots too. You just gotta drive around a little bit and explore. Also, I just wanted to share this restaurant too. This place is called Mauvi Waterfront Bar and Grill, and it's on the Intracoastal. I always like to point out a few places that are on that side of the map, because we're, East Coast. So when the sun comes up and the sun sets, you get a nicer sunset restaurant kind of vibe on the Intracoastal side.
Have you been there?
Yeah, Mauvi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the food like? How is it?
It's good. I mean, it's, your typical like seafood kind of stuff, but it's good.
We got to try that. I love eating in marinas and whatnot, so I haven't done that one yet. So that's cool.
Yeah. So over on the Intracoastal, and then just a locals place that I got to share is Cruiser's Grill. If you like burgers, if you like ranch dressing, this place is your place. Okay. It also has good salads though too. So I can't, it's not just a burgers and ranch dressing kind of place. They do have good salads. And then one of the things that was always kind of a big thing was something called chicken chunks, which I know does not sound that good, but I promise it's good.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So this is like a local shout out for you guys. You're getting all the local insights here. Honestly, I would have never heard of this or gone to this place, to be honest with you. I haven't done it yet.
Cruisers, yeah, it's been there. I looked it up because I was like, I wonder how long it's been there. 1996. So wow. I went to Cruisers way back when in high school, and it's still there. And some place when you go there, like in high school, and you go back and you're like, oh, I remember it being better. No, this place is still good.
Cool. Well, it have to be around 29 years, 25.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. And another place that opened in 1996 is a place called Sun Deli. So you can grab a sub sandwich and hit the beach. It's pretty close to the ocean. So, this is another good sub shop. So right there next to the water.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I mean, really, when people ask me where can I get a good Airbnb, it's either Jack's Beach in this area or down in St. Augustine. So if you are in this area and you want to make a little vacation out of it, you could. There's so many Airbnbs. It's legal in the Jack's Beach area. You can totally get a really good Airbnb. Some of them have some pool houses or a townhome, or whatever. And you're really going to be close, like bike riding or walking distance to all this. So it's a cool experience.
Right. And speaking of bike riding, there's another place where you can rent stuff. So just definitely consider renting items when you get here. You don't feel like you have to have everything right away. If you're looking for a beach chair or a beach umbrella, bicycles, all of that you can rent first before.
Yeah, and there's a little boardwalk in Jack's Beach, so if you want a bike ride, you can ride along the beach on the boardwalk.
Yeah, although I always like just riding on the beach, like with the thicker tires, you can ride on the beach for a long time.
Yeah, I haven't done that. Do a lot of people do that? Can you do that?
A lot of people do that. Actually,
Okay.
I mean, when I was in my 20s, getting around Jack's Beach, like the way to get around was 100% on your beach cruiser, on your bike.
On the beach.
On the beach.
Oh, okay. Cool. I think that's a good experience. And we did that up in Hilton Head, and I'm like, why haven't we done it here?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's really awesome. I mean, if you have beach cruisers already, just throw them in the back of the car. But otherwise, you can just rent them.
Cool. Very cool.
All right. And now moving further south to Ponte Vedra Beach.
Well,
So here So
are we talking about beach clubs already?
We're getting there. But first I thought it would be smart just to talk about like the one part of Ponte Vedra where you can actually access it publicly. This is called Micler Beach. It looks like Micler. It's a name, so it's actually pronounced Micler. And there's free parking there. It does get filled up pretty quick. So this is pretty far south in Ponte Vedra. Parking, bathrooms, showers, lifeguards are seasonal. They have like a pavilion that's first come, first serve if you're looking to have like a little picnic or something out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Micler is it's a pretty good option, but it does fill up.
So all my visitors, if you call it Micler, people are going to know immediately you're not from here. So it's Micler. That's one way of gauging if you're a true. Yeah, it's Micler. And, it's one of the few places in Ponte Vedra Beach. The beaches there are very private, either homes or clubs. So that is, and if you're talking North Ponte Vedra, Central Ponte Vedra, that's the public beach that everybody goes to, and probably where everybody, when people ask, how far is the beach from Nocatee? It's a straight shot over to Micler's in Ponte Vedra Beach. So.
Right. So Micler is definitely a really nice option. Growing up, that's where we went to the beach, and actually we called it Micler's or Mike. Yeah, no, we call it Micler's when I was growing up. So we had it wrong, but
okay.
You live and you learn. But yes.
Have you ever been to Valley Smoke Barbecue on the Intercoastal off Roscoe? And when you pull out of the parking lot, somebody has in their front lawn a sign that says it's pronounced Micler, and they have like the literally, so everybody
spelled out.
Yeah, it is literally.
Oh, I love that.
The other sign you'll see in Ponte Vedra Beach on someone's yard in a very expensive real estate is "Don't Miami my Ponte Vedra Beach." Yeah.
Well, everybody has an opinion.
Sorry, South Florida.
So, but speaking of though, we've got our beach clubs here, and they're exclusive. There are actually a lot of public beach access points along Ponte Vedra Boulevard. You just can't actually access them because there's no parking, and you can't park on Ponte Vedra Boulevard. So a lot of people get club memberships. So Ponte Vedra Inn and Club, this is the first one up top here. That one is what I would call the most exclusive one. They also are currently undergoing renovations. So this is the Ponte Vedra Club. Their estimated completion for the renovations is 2027, but they are still taking deposits for membership if you're interested. And I have their initiation fees. You want me to go into the initiation fees?
Yeah, I would like to hear how high they jumped up because there's a waiting list, especially if you want golf membership.
Right. So it just to be initiated, it's 150,000. So that's just for the opportunity to join.
Yeah.
And then you have to continue paying like a yearly membership dues. They also have a 2.5 to 3 year wait list, and the beach club is under renovation until 2027. So it's pricey. It is.
Yeah.
And that's not including, like you said, the golf membership and all that. That's extra.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I'll tell you what, that's the old Ponte Vedra area. It's very exclusive. It's been around a long time, and it's kind of the club to be a member of, if you will. But yeah, it would be shocking to pay all that money and then have to sit through some of those renovations. They put a parking garage in and everything. I mean, it is beautiful. If you want to experience it, we actually, as a gift to my wife once a year, we do the couples massage at the spa and then go have lunch and sit in the pool and everything. And it's actually really, really nice. Not cheap, but it's an awesome date thing to do. Couples massage, spa, and everything. They do a good job. And then if you just want to experience the place, you can actually stay in the hotel there, in the inn, which ain't cheap either.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's probably a lot less than 150,000.
It is. So that's your cheaper ticket in than 150,000. So.
So the next one down, if you saw on my map, here, I'll pull it up again. So that was the Ponte Vedra Inn and Club, and now the Lodge and Club is next. So it's a little further down.
Mm-hmm.
And it has an initiation fee of 50,000. So that's the initiation fee. And it has about a 1 year wait list.
Yeah.
It's also very nice. It's different. The pool is across A1A, so it's not the pool. I mean, they have, I think, maybe one adult pool.
They do. So they have a bar and a beach bar and a pool on the beach side. They have the family children's pool across the street on the other side. So they have two pools.
Right. And they also have a spa. This is another place, like you said, that you can, get a hotel room and experience it that way if you wanted to try it out. But it's also pricey. I mean, 50,000 initiation fee is up there, but it is not currently under renovation, and that wait list isn't too bad.
Yeah, they went under some renovations a few years ago. I remember when membership was 14,000, and now it's 50,000. Right. So ever since COVID, thanks guys, you really screwed up all our club initiation. It used to be affordable and fun. Now it's exclusive and expensive.
They do a lot of like events and stuff too. Like I have friends that go there, and I am lucky enough to be invited on occasion. So.
Yeah, I mean, we did, when we first moved here, we did the whole trial thing. They actually allowed you to go try it out for the time, and it was before they did the renovations. And we went to the beach, we did the beach chairs, we had lunch at the beach bar, and then we had dinner. And at that time, we were not like, wow, this is totally worth it, because you have to really justify it. We're seasonal here in Jacksonville. So, you're going to go use the bars, restaurants, and go hang out in the bar. But I mean, you're not going to go sitting on the beach in December. Let's be real.
Right.
I mean, you're not going swimming December, January, or February. I mean, we're not like Orlando or South where it's warm all year round. We do have a change of season in the winter. So you really have to be into wanting to do walks on the beach, going out to dinner, or using the beach club or whatever, because you want to, utilize that membership. And so I work on weekends and everything. So even back then at 14,000 membership fee, it was hard to justify it, plus the monthly. So.
Right. And then right next to that lodge is another club called the Cabana Beach Club. And this is sort of tied in somehow with the Sawgrass Marriott. But they have their own beach club. It has pools. They have an initiation fee of $35,000 and no wait list. So
wow. Okay, maybe that was the Cabana because I'm mixing them up with the Lodge. So that's the Cabana. Maybe that's the one we did where it used to be 15 and now it's 35. So that makes sense. Okay, cool.
So, yeah. So there is that one. But I mean, it's a nice. They're all nice. They're all beautiful. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to charge these kinds of fees if they weren't. So they're all really wonderful. And then there's kind of one that's a newish one, but it's under new ownership, and it's further south. So I'm going to have to zoom way out here and find the South Ponte Vedra. Actually, I'm going to have to just search for it. So it gives me a little.
This is south towards Guana Beach.
Yes, here it is. I could just scroll forever down the coast, but here we go. South Ponte Vedra Ocean Club. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you guys can get kind of an idea of just how far south Ponte Vedra it is. So we're still going. And yeah, so Micler's is right there. South Ponte Vedra.
About 30 minutes.
It's a little further. So about 30 minutes. So it's pretty far down there. It is under new ownership. And they have different incentives that they're offering right now. So their initiation fee is $17,500.
Wow.
So way less on the initiation fees. And then they are offering currently, and this may be just like something they're offering for a little while. And there's no wait list. They're offering that it's a transferable membership. So if you were to buy into this club and you decided to move away or whatever, you may be able to transfer that membership to whoever buys your house, or if you have another family member in town.
Yeah. So you don't lose your initiation fee. You try to regain it by passing on the membership to somebody else.
Right. So, and I think there's like a fee to transfer it. I want to say it's like $3,000 to transfer that fee. Mm-hmm. But that's something that's different about this club versus the other ones. Now it is further south, so you're headed more towards Volano. Yeah. But it is another, I mean, you can see it in the picture. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it used to be the Serenata Beach Club, and unfortunately that did not make it. So it's now under new ownership, and I think the first thing they did was smart, was getting that Ponte Vedra, South Ponte Vedra Ocean Club, getting the name right, because if you're not from the area, Ponte Vedra does hold its own with its name. So I think that was a good rebranding on their part. I haven't been there since the Serenata Beach Club, so it'd be interesting to see how it is. So any of y'all are watching or your members, or you've been there lately, I think you can go to can you go to the restaurant there publicly, or do you have to be a member to go eat lunch there?
You know, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I had been there a long time ago as Serenata as well, so I haven't been there since it's been the new one.
Yeah. So if you guys are members there or whatever, please put in the comments of what your experience is. What do you think about it? I would love to hear. I'm very curious for sure.
All right. So those are all the beach clubs. I am going to move to just a more beach access points. So another beach access point is heading south into Guana. So if you go south from Micler's, sorry. I'm confusing myself not reading it. So going south from Micler's, you can hit Guana, and this has a little parking area here, and then you can walk over to the beach. And the parking there is $3 per car, up to 8 people. So if you've got a car full of people, that's a good place to check out. And then
and there's 3 of them. There's Guana 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, right. I wonder what is the cost per year annually, because they require you to put cash an envelope. I mean, it is kind of prehistoric the way they do that, which makes us feel like
Right.
good old historical Jacksonville. But I'm wondering, do you know if there's an annual fee that locals can pay rather than having to do the $3 thing to have a sticker to put in your car?
Not that I'm aware of for that, but I do know for like if you want to do beach driving, like on beach driving, that is you can get like a year pass for that. So there are some parts of St. Johns County where you can drive onto the beach.
Okay. I thought it was closer. Is that Villano or St. Augustine beaches more so?
Yes. So there's certain parts of Volano, and here I'll pull up a map that shows some of it. It is a tiny map, but this is the northern part of where you can drive, meaning Volano area. So you can kind of see, okay, it's a pretty good stretch of where you can drive on. They do have some guidelines, rules that they put out there.
Mm-hmm.
They do strongly recommend a four-wheel drive vehicle. I have had friends that have gone out there or tried to drive onto the beach with an all-wheel drive vehicle, and they got turned away. So I would say if you don't have four-wheel drive, be prepared to pivot to a different plan on how you're going to get to the beach. But basically, yes, you can get a pass for the year. It's valid from March to September, and the annual fee is $50, where the daily fee is $10. So if you're going to drive on the beach, if you've got four-wheel drive, that's a good one to look at. So Volano area, actually really just north of Volano. And then parts of the St. Augustine Beach as well has drive on.
Does that like appeal to you, being able to get in your car and drive your vehicle on the beach? Do you like that?
I do like that.
Because you're a Jeep person, right?
Yeah, we have a Jeep. But
you have the rubber duckies on your Jeep dashboard too?
Oh yeah, my husband's got all that.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
I mean, they're given to us. They're gifts. What am I going to do with that?
People just give it. My brother is a Jeep. He says sometimes people just leave it on his car. Or sometimes they gift you. You guys are a cult, man, with your Jeeps. All right.
We're going to do the Jeep wave whenever.
Do you like to, do you ride on the beach with it?
You know what? We haven't since we moved back, but I do like the idea of it, because when you go to a beach that has drive on and you see everybody else just pulling stuff out of their car, like that is so nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to walk. You don't have to take your tent out or whatever, your chairs, and just walk however long to the beach. It's just all right there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. But there is a Facebook page too that has that kind of, it's Stuck on St. Augustine Beach Facebook page. So, people do try to help, but it's, also just know.
What do you mean trying to help? I don't get it. I've never seen the Facebook page. Well,
sometimes on the Facebook page, you'll see people who are like, hey, help, I'm stuck at this, part of the beach. Can you get your,
if they don't have
to help me get out of here?
Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
Because the county is pretty clear. If you read through like some of the rules and all that stuff, the county is pretty clear about, like, if you get stuck, it's on you to figure it out.
Yeah.
So,
no thanks.
Yeah. So, I guess it depends. Maybe it adds a level of stress to your beach day to do that. Maybe that's not for everybody. So, I get it.
Okay.
Don't
mean to back up because I know we don't have a lot of time, but just so everybody knows, the South Ponte Vedra Ocean Club, which used to be Serenadas, is a restaurant there called Linda's at the Ocean Club, and it is in fact open to the members. It says beach club itself is private, requires membership for access to amenities like the fitness center, the pools, a private beach, but the restaurant is open to the public with varying hours. So lunches offer variety of seafood, steaks, sandwich, salads, and pizzas, a brunch option until 2 p.m. on select days. So if you want to check out that club, you can go to Linda's and not be a member of the club and just kind of, check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Really quick, also, a quick hello from David George. Hello from Connecticut. What's up, David George? Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right. Well, really quickly, just because I know we are running out of time, I'm just trying to get through as much beach as I can.
Yes.
But so if you go further south, you do have Volano Beach. There is a lot of parking down this way too. And there's a little bit of a shopping area here. There's a Publix. So if you just want to grab a pub sub and hit the beach, this is a good area to park and do all of that. Also over on this side, I always like to point out the places, like I said, that are on the other side for restaurants with a good view. Beaches at Volano is another one of those little seafood kind of places, and it's on the Talamato River, so you can, watch the sunset from that side. And if you're trying to get to the St. Augustine Beach or Anastasia, you go over the bridge through St. Augustine, like historic St. Augustine, and then over the Bridge of Lions. And now you've got Anastasia and St. Augustine Beach. Anastasia is up this way, and it is the Florida State Park. You don't drive on that beach, but it does have a lot of amenities there as far as parking and bathrooms. And then it also has that place has rentals. It has bikes, stand-up paddleboards, kayaks. It has a food stand, and there's camping there. So if you're looking for camping on the beach, Anastasia State Park is another place where you can do that.
Yeah. Backing you up, and I know you're running out of time, but that Beaches in Volano, the beach restaurant you're talking about, are in Volano on the marina there. What's it called again?
Beaches at Volano.
They also have a little, I think we rent a pontoon boat at that marina too. There's a little pontoon boat, and you can go down into St. Augustine and go to the sandbar there and swim and everything. So if you're looking for a little boat action on the sandbar, cruising through the bay, downtown St. Augustine, that's one of the places you can get a pontoon boat or boat rental and do that, which is very cool.
Oh yeah, that is very cool.
It's also where the famous Volano Beach 10K that your husband and I ran not too long ago, and I almost died, and he beat me.
That's so funny. He wears that shirt all the time. It's a good shirt.
Oh, it's such a nice run because you run over the bridge, and it's early in the morning, and so the sunrise. It's so beautiful. It's a very popular run. So definitely cool to experience that if you're into doing a 10K, or I think they do a 5K as well. So
that's awesome.
Hi, y'all. Mindy here, watching from St. John's. What's up, Mindy? Good to see you tonight. Mindy moved up from, I want to say suburbs of Orlando. All right. What do we got next?
Okay. So Anastasia State Park, told you about that. Another place where you can camp. It's another state park. So the state runs that. And then if you go further south, that is St. Augustine Beach. And that is another area where you can do the drive-on thing if you're into that. So if you go further south, you can see St. Augustine Beach. And there's different access points. There's also just pretty decent parking. If you're just looking for a place to park, you can find, little parking lots here and there along St. Augustine Beach. And just other, little landmarks to know. Out this way is the lighthouse, which is just a cool place to go. The alligator farm, which, is definitely an experience. You have to do it at least once.
You do.
And
it's worth it. It's totally worth it. If anybody's considering alligator farm, it is totally cool. It's definitely an experience to try it out. So the albino gators and watching them feed the regular gators, it's pretty fascinating.
Yes. And I can go through just some local little restaurants really quick. There's the Beachcomber restaurant, which is, on the water in Anastasia Island area. Just a neat little place. One of my favorite places is the Conch House. It's just kind of a interesting place. Like they've got these little tiki huts where you can eat and look over the water in the Anastasia area. There's also
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat place. And Another,
I just have
oh,
to say, I mean, if you live here, you're moving here. I mean, honestly, there is so much to do between St. Augustine up to Atlantic Beach to Amelia Island. There is so much to do here that if you're just willing to drive a little, it's not that bad at all. I mean, you have such a diversity of things to do, whatever it is, camping, driving on the beach clubs, these island atmosphere, touristy places. There's so many cool things to do. I mean, it is really amazing. I love doing these shows because you forget about it as you live here, where, it's like, get out of the bubble and go do something cool. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I agree. And there's always like just a little place that looks like, I hate to say like a little hole in the wall, but like sometimes those are the best places. And, you just,
it's old Florida.
Different, new. Yeah, new. And I mean, there's a lot of new stuff that's popped up. And another place I like is called Osprey Tacos. And right next door, this will be up your alley, is a little brewery.
Okay. I like that.
Old Coast Ales is right next door, so you can sit outside on the little picnic tables, and then go next door and get a brew, and then go sit at the picnic table.
Okay, little tacos and brew. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff, and there's more stuff coming. Every it seems like there's new restaurants popping up like all the time. So
yeah,
just cool stuff. And then beach safety. Just because we have to touch on it, rip currents are a big deal. It's always important to pay attention. If you find yourself in a rip current, they say to swim parallel until you get out of the rip current and then swim back to shore. Don't tire yourself trying to get back to shore. Swim parallel first, get out of the rip current, and then swim back in.
People, for the love of the Lord, please, 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 especially if you have children, do realize in knee-deep water, your child can be whisked away on red flag day. Check out the flags when you go on the beach. I grew up in the Caribbean. I'm a beach person, and I'm always very confident. But in the last year, we have lost so many people, very strong people that were familiar with the ocean, but a rip current can take you away in a matter of moments. And so please make sure you know what we won't even go to the beach if it's a red flag that day, and understand what the flags are, purple, yellow, whatever it is. Be very cautious of that, because children have been whisked away, and then adults go and try to save them, and they've been able to, but then the adult gets lost. It's a very real thing here. So be smart, and realize even in the shallow waters, it is very, very serious thing. And that's the last thing you'd ever want to have to experience, losing somebody to drowning like that. So it is a very serious thing. So
yes. And always make sure you're aware of the sun, have an umbrella, have some shade, look for lifeguards. And, I always tell my kids with marine life, if you're not sure what it is, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it will sting you, so be careful of that. But also another risk thing that I think people don't really know that much is be careful of when you build sand castles. They say not to dig past the knee deep of the smallest person in your group, because people, they don't realize that sand is really unstable, and they'll dig a hole really deep, and then it'll collapse in on them.
Oh, never heard of that.
Yeah, so that's another really kind of just, if you don't grow up at the beach, maybe you don't know that, and it does happen. It happens with kids, and they get trapped in the.
I never dig them that deep. I'm too lazy.
Well, that's ultimately what it comes down to for me. Or I start digging, and then the water comes up, and then it's like,
yeah. You don't think of these things when you have little kids, especially if you're using a shovel. So
right. So just know that's just another risk to be aware of.
Is this where we're ending?
I think that's, well, anyway, should we end on a happier note?
I think so. I think we scared the living hell out of a bunch of people. Hey, what's up, Edwin? Thanks for watching us. A lot of people coming on later on tonight. If we have this in recording and you want to make any comments, please do. We respond to all comments. We'd love to get your input on some of your favorite places on the beach here in Northeast Florida. So much to do, so many cool places. So if you had an awesome experience, put it on here so somebody else can see and learn about it too. Because we know St. Augustine is a huge vacation area, and so yeah, please promote the most popular places you like to go.
Yeah. And actually, I was going to say one quick thing that's fun to do is hunt for shark's teeth. And I think Micler's is my favorite place to go looking for shark's teeth. It always has a pretty good shell bed, and you can find some good ones.
Yes. So that's another cult thing, I think. There are serious people that are about, I mean, it's cool. I mean, we found them too, and they're really cool looking. They're little black shark's teeth. But there is a lot of people that take this very seriously, shelling and shark tooth hunting particularly. And it always seems to be around the Micler's area. So that is a cool thing to do. Another thing I like to do, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give you one extra little hint about shark's teeth hunting. If you go out after a storm has passed through, like a hurricane out in the water, not necessarily one that's even come that close, it turns up the water. And if you go to Fernandina or Amelia Island up that way, they get some good ones.
Oh, very cool. All right. That's a little hint for you, especially during the storms. One other thing we didn't touch up on today in Guana 3, the parks on the beach there where you have beach parking, and on the intercoastal side, there's also a place where you can rent kayaks and paddleboards and everything on the intercoastal side. And there's really good fishing over there. So if you want to go knee deep fishing in the bay on the river side or the intercoastal side, Guana 3 is awesome for that. I always do a little day dates with one of my daughters kayaking there. I don't be bothered dragging a kayak. I think it's $10 or something. And you have an hour out there, and it's a super cool thing to do. There's also hiking on the island there as well. So we'll hike to the other side of the island on the intercoastal, take some public subs. You can take your dog. Really cool little hikes there, mountain biking as well. So many cool things. I love the Guana preserves. If I could say anything, those areas just are beautiful. So
yes, yeah, all of it. I mean, it was hard really to do it just an hour show on this because it's all just so good.
No, and I think the point is that we can't cover it all. There's so much to do, honestly, and I think people that enjoy nature and enjoy old Florida with a twist. There's a little bit of everything. People don't realize how much Jacksonville has to offer in that aspect of things. We're definitely not a South Beach. We're just a totally different vibe up here, and for now at least. So. We're very fortunate to have the nature that we do that's untouched. So hopefully it will remain that way, and we'll get to continue to enjoy the natural beauty of Northeast Florida here on the beaches.
Agreed.
Should we end on that one?
I think so.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us tonight. And if you're watching a recording, thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, we are a YouTube channel, but we're not YouTubers. We don't make money off of YouTube. If we did, it'd be a commercial every 10 seconds, and we don't choose to do that. We're actually a real estate channel. So if you're thinking about moving the area, I'd love to be your resource of choice. My team and I would be glad to assist you, especially during these times. We have so many promotions to help you with your process, whether it's new construction, resale. And if you're thinking about selling your home, it's definitely a heavy buyer's market. You really need to have a broker that's going to navigate you honestly, fairly, because it will be a ride. Days on market here are definitely a lot higher. It is a buyer's market. We have people in town, and we're bargain shopping. So if you're going to list your home, make sure you give us a call to get our opinion and evaluation. We're going to give it to you straight. We don't have the kind of time to just throw a house up and make you sit on the market for 3-4 months and keep asking you for price reductions. So certainly do call about that. And again, my team and I would be glad to help you on that. You can call, text, email. Information will be pinned to the comments below, in the description as well. Also, some of the show topics that we touched upon tonight. So As always, Miss Rachel, thank you so much. Everybody, if you enjoyed Miss Rachel putting together this show tonight, make sure you give her a thumbs up and make sure you make a comment on the comment section. I'm truly enjoying this. Thanks, Rachel. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, cool. All right, folks, next Thursday, I will, speaking of that, Miss Rachel's going to, where are you going?
I'm going to have fun.
Okay. I won't tell everybody where she's going, but she's going out to a cool concert, which is a lot of cool things, music that we get to do around here. So I will actually be doing a show on the market for those of you that are really curious to know, well, what's going on between resales and new home incentives. There are so many massive incentives right now. So I'm going to touch upon that and bore you with all my real estate nerds that want to know what the numbers look like, some comparisons. So I'll do some analytics with that. So join me next Thursday if you haven't already subscribed so that you'll be notified. And of course, we'll be putting out videos on Tuesday as well. See you next Thursday, folks. Have a great night and weekend. Cheers.